Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a good message for you all, and I'm hoping that this will really resonate for some people. There has been a lot of chatter, a lot of noise on the world scene lately, and I really just wanted to share this with people who have been feeling like called to isolate, just to, be in solitude, but not out of fear, right? There's a difference whenever you're isolating because you're trying to protect yourself because you're afraid of something. But this feels like a call to get more clarity, right? By going within. And so, if you have been feeling lately like you just need to chill out and just turn the TV off and just like ignore everybody, that's fine, okay? Being called not necessarily to go into hermit mode to, cut the world off, but to get our inner world quiet enough that we can hear our inner voice, right? So, this is what I want to share today and what's been happening, and this is why I'm making this video, okay? Because there's a lot of things going on. I don't always want to make a video, but when I feel like I gotta do it, I gotta do it, okay? So Earth is really experiencing something significant right now. Across the world, right? We're hearing about tragedies and disasters. We're hearing about all the negative things. But secretly, not really secretly, but quietly, underneath all of that, there is a awakening happening within the souls of humanity. And this awakening has been foretold for generations. Like, this is something that was foretold, is prophesied that this was going to happen, this great awakening, this age. And this is the thing, okay? People who are not experiencing the awakening symptoms, who are not aware that this is happening underneath the surface, they may not be able to perceive what we are able to perceive. And that's okay, because not everybody was meant to awaken right now. Some people are just the contrast that shows us what it looks like when we don't wake up. Okay? They just help us to see what would happen if we decided not to wake up. What the consequences are, and we get the choice, right? Everybody has free will. We get the choice. So what's happening now is that we're having a shift between people who are waking up and experiencing these, what I like to call ascension symptoms. Okay, it's like when your consciousness, basically your awareness of what all that is starting to increase. Well, then you're starting to have physical symptoms, because now you're tapping into frequencies that your physical body had never experienced before. And so you're going to have some physical symptoms. But I'll get into all of that in another video. The biggest thing I want to talk about is that people are waking up on a global scale all around. It's like a neural scan. Like, if you've ever seen a brain scan and you look at it, and it's like you have a bunch of little neurons, little synapses, all just popping up, just firing off all over the brain. And each of these different interactions, though they look unrelated, but you would not have a conscious working brain if they were not firing off. And so even though we can't see each other physically, okay, one neuron may not be able to see the other neuron, but they fire that impulse, that electricity to the next one. What is happening on a scale, the reason I know is because of synchronicities, is that globally we have people on other continents, and this is what I recently saw on TikTok, is that you're having people on completely different continents, completely different cultures, completely different upbringings, sharing on different platforms that they're having the same dreams. Similar or very similar dreams of the same symbols. The same symbols are popping up. I have seen symbols that I had never, ever in my life ever dreamed of before. I saw it in my dream. And then subsequently, I get a YouTube video on my homepage, and I recognize the symbol. So I clicked on the video. And let me tell you, that video, y'all, it was about this Egyptian frequency and how this Egyptian frequency is helping to wake up the collective. I'm not going to get into it, because that right there, this will be a whole 30-minute video if I get into that. But the point is, it is very clear that the veil is thin, and people are waking up. Now, the question that you have to ask yourself, right? Because you always come with your preconceived beliefs and notions before you awaken. You have to decide, basically like Neo, that red pill, blue pill. Do I want to go back to my life and just continue living in ignorance, or do I want to live for the truth? And that was a question I had to ask myself, because I got to a point where all the things that I thought I knew, I realized were false. And all the things that I was told was false actually was true. So it kind of turned everything that I knew on its head. But I had to decide, do I want to be a hypocrite though? Do I want to keep pushing information that I know isn't completely true? Or do I want to do the digging, do the research, do the dirty work to go into the darkness, the shadows, to uncover the real reality underlying this one? And the answer was yes. Okay, like, of course I am. Like, yeah, I'm not going to just sit here on the surface. No. So, what's happening is, because I am doing my digging and my part, I'm sending off these thoughts, okay, that I'm having, and other awakened people, other enlightened people, I said enlightened, other enlightened people are picking up on that. I'm picking up on whatever frequencies other people are sending out. And that's where you start to see the internet, the actual internet, the interlinking of consciousness around the globe, around the universe, interdimensionally, okay? It's basically the framework that our internet is built on, okay? The ability to connect people like that was already in existence. But the thing is, when you're listening to all this external noise, you can't hear your own internal processing. You can't hear the answers coming up. They're not going to like to hear this, but I found that I don't need Google as much as I thought I did when I go within and ask certain questions. I can ask certain questions from within, get answers, then verify it with Google to make sure I ain't tripping, and I'd be right. It'd be right. So I'm like, interesting. So it's like I have this knowing that was always there, right? And it was even there since you were a kid. But every time somebody told you no, or sent you on this other, whatever path of rejection, thinking that you weren't good enough, you started to lose a little sight of it. You started to lose a little piece of your knowing every time somebody told you something that wasn't true. But now we're in this age of recollection, of remembering. And basically the reason why we are isolating is because, or just, I don't like the word isolation. I like the word solitude. But anyways, not going to get into semantics right now. But the reason why we're entering like this solitude phase is because there are a lot of things that are basically trying to take our attention, okay? They're trying to take our attention with the news, with distractions, with the weather, with everything. They are constantly trying to have you focus like this so that you can't sit like this, open up and discover the whole inner world that is at your fingertips within you. So yeah, remember that your body is a temple, okay? Your body is a temple. This is something that has been believed across multiple religions, across multiple spiritual practices. Your body is a temple. Start going within, okay? And people are like, what does it mean to go within? I didn't really know what that meant either. So my best exercise is to take some deep breaths, really. Take some deep breaths and ask your heart center to open up. And just feel your heart open up and ask your heart to be filled with love. And ask that you can release any of the fears or biases or beliefs that have been taught to you that don't serve you. Anything that really doesn't feel good when you think about it, that's not yours. Whenever you notice that, hey, this thought keeps coming up, and it's not a positive thought, I would rather not keep thinking this. That is probably not a thought that's yours. It's not, it's something that you've picked up over all these years. So just sit with yourself, okay? Ask yourself questions and then wait for your body to give you answers. Don't try to think the answers up. That's where I had to learn, is that I would have, this mental reaction, but then I would also feel the spiritual reaction happening shortly thereafter. Like at first, I would feel like mentally, well, this is what I think. But then my soul would be like, but this is what is. So you figure that out. But yeah, guys, I pray that everybody that is meant to see this video will see this video. I hope that this was a helpful video, that it kind of helps you, especially like if you have been feeling a little bit weird, a little bit off, like what is going on? You feel like you can't you just want to just take a step back, all right? And let me tell you something. When you do the solitude thing and you come back and you do see the noise and hear the noise, it doesn't affect you the same. It doesn't. Like if I go and look at the news, I'm not saying, and it's not apathy, it's not that. It's just like, you don't feel like it's pulling you in, right? It's almost like you're looking at it from behind this glass wall now, where before you were outside and there was a tornado and it was pulling you in and everybody in, but you got to safety, you got on the other side. Okay, you went inside yourself, and from within yourself, you have a force field that is keeping you from being drawn into that whole situation, and so it doesn't affect you anymore. It doesn't affect you. Like, you still care. You're not you don't just not have emotions about it. In fact, you're at a better position to help people when you're not in panic mode or in angst, whatever. Whenever you have clarity, you can help a lot more people than whenever you're in confusion. Okay, that is a fact. So don't feel bad, don't feel selfish for needing a minute or as long as you need to take to get yourself back to baseline. This whole system was created to make it hard for us. But guess what? We're strong. We're resilient. We got this, okay? I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. I love you, my spirit tribe, my family, my intergalactic family. I love all you humans here. Guys, we got this, okay? It's going to be an interesting time. But just listen to your inner knowing, okay? You're always going to get feedback from the peanut gallery. But then when you notice that the peanut gallery, their reactions and their results are not what you want, then politely say, I decline, okay? So yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but I had a lot to say, and I thank you for sitting here and listening. Please like and subscribe if you like this type of content. I have more videos coming up, and guys, if you love talks about energy, the universe, spirituality, all those things, that is what this channel is about to be about. I have a lot of things I want to share on here, but I'm gonna make a playlist specifically for these topics, okay? All right, y'all. Well, anyways, have a wonderful, blessed day, and be beautiful, and stay uplifted and positive. Peace out.